What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are inside the new 2022 GR86. Girlfriend's a little bit busy, so she's letting us take the car out, and I'm just gonna give you guys first initial impressions. We're gonna, take a small drive, kind of check out the car, talk about it a little bit, and then show you guys the outside and what it looks like. I'm sure you've all seen it before, but yeah, let's get going. A little bit of torque. So this is the base model. This is the standard. This is also the automatic. That's largely because my girlfriend doesn't know how to drive. Doesn't know how to drive stick. And so we're stuck with the automatic. So, to be perfectly honest, the automatic isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. The keeping it in auto is definitely better than doing it in manual mode, which is kind of weird to say. Normally, even with automatics, if you want like best performance or something like that, you would keep it you would put it in like manual mode, right? And then you would use the paddle shifters, which, to be perfectly honest, the paddle shifters actually look pretty cool. They look super aggressive, but I don't know. I think it's with something, I can't remember what kind of automatic this car is. It's just like a torque converter or something like that. But yeah, the manual itself it's not great. Keeping it in auto is definitely the way to go. Now, first and foremost, this car is so much better than the original. So the first gen, right, as you all know, had the 2-liter 4-cylinder flat, so flat 4, right, and it had that crazy torque dip that everyone talks about. It's been talked to death, and this doesn't have it, right? This just doesn't have that torque dip anymore, and there's actually quite a bit of torque down low, right? So this car is supposed to be pushing about, and this is what Toyota and Subaru has quoted as 226 horsepower to the crank, and about 180 foot-pounds of torque, right? So pretty good, not too bad. But to be perfectly honest, this feels like it has a lot more, right? It feels like it has got significantly more. Well, okay, not gonna say significantly more, but generally speaking, if you think about, 20% drivetrain loss, people have been dynoing these, and I've been seeing, at least online, people getting 215, 216 wheel horsepower, and honestly, the car does kind of reflect that when you drive it. It feels a lot quicker. There's also just a lot more torque down low. Like, this is definitely a torqueier engine than the original FA20 flat 4. All right, so here's the thing. So I got a chance to drive a Boxster GTS, a 981 Boxster GTS from Porsche recently, and those, granted that's a flat 6, those also use, that was not a stop. I thought it was a stop. Those also use flat, flat cylinder engines, right? So that's a flat 6. This is just a flat 4. But the interesting thing, and granted that thing revs all the way to like 7.5, 8, something like that. I think close to 8. This engine feels kind of similar on the low end, right? It's just the Porsche engine is just really torquey down low, especially for the naturally aspirated one. And this is giving me some of those characteristics. So when people call this a baby Boxster or baby Cayman, I think more now more than ever, that really, really rings true. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get some coffee. Yeah, I'm kind of thirsty. I'm gonna do some coffee. Let's get some coffee. So here with my coffee, sitting next to the GR86. You know, this car is it's really good. It's definitely fun. Definitely reminds me of my old 2016 BRZ in a very good way. And it definitely made some improvements overall to the chassis, to the platform. And honestly, I think, to be honest, I really do think Toyota and BRZ and Subaru have actually done a really good job maintaining the feel, the playfulness, while also really giving a really nice customizable platform in a pretty cheap package. Now the standard is, what is it, starts at like 28,000, and with the automatic kind of brings it up to around 30. So after taxes and fees, I think out the door we got this for about 34, which is pretty good. That was about the same as the it's a little bit pricier than the previous gen. I believe back in 2016 when I got my BRZ, I believe I paid about 30 out the door, and that was for the limited trim, right? So the top model, so that had the dual climate control, the push to start, the updated interior. Now the nice thing about these models now is that both the standard and the premium for Toyota, or the limited or the premium and limited for Subaru, they have the exact same interior. The real difference is just that the seats are a little bit different. So you have leather and Alcantara for the top trims and cloth for the bottom trims, but to be perfectly honest, I actually really like the cloth seats. They're really comfortable. They feel really good, and they do hold you in really well. They're also not very in hot weather. They breathe very nicely. One of the issues I did have with the Alcantara in the previous gen was that like my back would get really sweaty when it was really hot out. So that was kind of no fun. The cloth is just really nice. You don't get the heated seats though. That only comes in the top trims. And I think really that's about it. So interior wise, you know, if you're thinking about getting this car, you know, you can get the lower trim and not really be missing out on too much interior. For us here in, you know, Northern California, in California in general, we don't really need heated seats. Some people really like them. The GTI had them. Let's see, the Supra had them. And I think the M2 competition had it, but to be perfectly honest, I never used it. It's just, it never gets cold enough here where I really felt the need to use heated seats, and plus it always just feels weird to me. So, you know, my 2016 BRZ had them. So, yeah, it's a feature that won't really be missed. So, I know some people have been asking and wondering, you know, how does this compare to the S2000? You know, is this a better car than the S2000? I think overall, as far as a driver's car is concerned, as far as performance and the ability to get really quick lap times and handle incredibly well and just have a blast on the back roads, I think it's close. I think it's really close. I still think the S2000 is the better platform. I still think the S2000 has the better engine. I mean, even for the AP2, you know, the 2005 that I have, you know, revving all the way up to 8,000 RPM. I don't know, and just with the VTEC and just something about it, and the engine just sounds so good when it's high up there. This engine, we haven't really brought it to Redline yet, and it's okay. You know, it's definitely not. Yeah, it's not quite as exciting as that engine, I find still. It's good. And the chassis being stiffer is a lot better. It's way more fun that way. You can really feel the stiffness compared to the previous gen. I still think the S2000 is probably just a little bit stiffer. So I really can't wait to. I think my girlfriend has signed up actually for a track day on this car. So we're both gonna be taking it out. We're both gonna be driving. So that's gonna be really fun. We're gonna see how this performs on the track. And of course, we're gonna be doing autocross throughout the year. So this will be pretty fun at autocross as well. But yeah, I mean, honestly, just kind of to go back to the original point, is it better than the S2000? I'm gonna say no. However, at the same time, what I will say is if you are looking for a raw driving experience, rear-wheel drive for not too much money, and you want like a warranty and stuff like that, this is a fantastic choice. It's the closest, in my opinion, that you're gonna get to an experience like the S2000 without paying Porsche money, right? So like a Porsche Boxster, in my opinion, maybe not the current gen, right? The 718 with the Turbo 4. If you got like a 981 Boxster, I personally think that is literally the upgrade from the S2000. That's the direct upgrade. You know, it's convertible, it's a roadster, it's mid-engine. S2000 is technically mid-engine, it's front mid-engine, whereas the Boxster's rear mid-engine. It has a super raw driving experience. That the transmission and manual shifting is amazing. You really can't get much better than the S2000 or a Porsche when it comes to the transmission. Yeah, it's definitely up there. But this, I would just say, you know, it's, if you don't have Porsche money and you want a really fun sports car that's easily modifiable, that you can take to the track, to the back roads, or even just drive around town and it's still relatively practical, this is honestly the best choice in my opinion. You really just can't get much better, honestly. Naturally aspirated, I love naturally aspirated engines. I thought I actually kind of was a turbo guy, but to be perfectly honest, I really like naturally aspirated engines. I like being able to rev out my engines. I like hearing the difference between the low RPMs and the high RPMs, and I like kind of having to work for it. I don't know, for me that's just more fun, regardless of whether or not it's an automatic or manual. It's just more fun for me. But yeah, so I mean, just some quick thoughts. I mean, this is not like a full review. I am going to be doing a full review of this car at a later date. This is really just quick impressions of the car. So far we've kind of done a few things to the car, which has been cool. So we did get a clear bra installed, which was really good, because this is her daily driver. And we've also done the clear side markers. So yeah, other than that, no other mods for now, but we are planning on doing a few more in the future. So hopefully that exhaust is going to be coming soon, and also, yeah, hopefully some interior stuff as well. So that's going to be fun. But anyways, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to give you guys a few more cinematic shots of the car. I do really like this car. I think the blue is fantastic. It's a super fun car. The design is great. It really grew on me. Originally I wasn't a fan of the rear end with the, you know, the Civic tail lights, but honestly it's really kind of grown on me. It's a fantastic looking car. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun project. My girlfriend has never been into modding before, but she kind of really wants to start with this car, so that's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna be able to, you know, kind of guide her so she doesn't make stupid mistakes like I did when I was doing the BRZ build. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you all in the next one.